Hey everybody, welcome back to the deep dive. So today we're going to be looking at somebody who I think a lot of us know and admire, and that's Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Yeah, The Rock.
And we're going to be looking beyond his sort of public persona, I guess, and really trying to get into his mindset and his approach to success, fatherhood, and this idea of really staying true to yourself.
Right, and all this comes from a really interesting interview that he did with Oprah Winfrey.
Yeah, it's on her YouTube channel, English Speeches.
Yes.
And it's really fascinating stuff. He actually opens up about a lot of things that I think you wouldn't necessarily expect him to talk about publicly. Like, one thing that really stood out to me was him talking about facing eviction with his mom when he was just 14 years old.
14 years old, that's so young.
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine, like, the impact that must have had on him at such a crucial age?
Right.
Like, it's probably safe to say that this experience really played a huge role in shaping who he is today.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I think it's easy to see how that kind of early hardship could instill a really powerful work ethic and that sense of resilience that he's so well known for.
Psychologists actually have a term for this: grit, they call it. It's basically that ability to persevere through tough times.
Yeah.
And, The Rock, he definitely embodies that. He's got grit in spades.
He does, and it's amazing to see how he's taken that experience and really turned it into fuel for his success. You know, when he started making money, one of the first things he did was buy himself a Rolex.
Oh, yeah, the classic status symbol.
Right, but then, get this, he actually broke it during a wrestling match.
Oh, no. What happened?
Yeah, I know, right? But it's interesting because that broken Rolex became kind of symbolic for him, too.
Yeah,
But not in the way he initially intended.
that makes sense. I mean, it must have made him realize that material possessions, even those really fancy ones, don't necessarily equal true happiness.
It's true. It's like a wake-up call almost, right? It makes you think about what success really means and whether those external markers are actually what matters.
Exactly. The Rock story really highlights how success isn't just this destination you reach. It's an ongoing process of figuring out what's truly important to you. And for him, part of that process involved a major shift in his wrestling persona.
Oh, yeah. You mean the whole Rocky Maivia thing.
Exactly.
Right.
Remember, he started out wrestling under that name to pay tribute to his dad and grandfather,
Right.
but it always felt like something was off. Like it wasn't really authentically him.
Yeah, and the audience could sense that too. I mean, remember WrestleMania 13
Oh,
when
man.
the crowd started chanting Rocky sucks? That was brutal.
It was a turning point, though, wasn't it?
It was.
Like, it forced him to face this really tough question. Was he going to keep trying to fit into a mold that wasn't right for him? Or was he going to be brave enough to embrace his true self?
And he chose the latter, thank goodness. He took that mic and he basically said, look, I may be a lot of things, but sucks isn't one of them.
It's interesting to think about the psychology behind that. Because when we're authentic, when we're not trying to be someone we're not, people can feel that.
They can't.
And it creates a much deeper connection.
Makes your message way more powerful.
It does.
Yeah.
And that applies to all of us, doesn't it? Like, how often do we feel pressure to fit in, to be someone we're not?
All the time.
Yeah.
It's such a common experience.
And I think that's why The Rock's story is so powerful. It reminds us that our individuality is actually our greatest strength.
Absolutely. It takes a lot of courage to be yourself, especially when you're facing pressure to conform. But as The Rock shows us, that courage can lead to extraordinary things.
For sure. And that authenticity became like his trademark. He carried it with him to Hollywood, even when people were telling him to downplay his wrestling past.
It's true.
But he bet on himself. He bet on being fully The Rock. And it obviously paid off big time.
Yeah. It's almost counterintuitive, right? We often think that we need to fit in to succeed. But his story really shows that sometimes standing out, being unapologetically yourself, is actually the key to breaking through.
I love that. So true. So what do you think is the biggest lesson we can take away from The Rock's willingness to own his past, his struggles, and just his unique personality?
Well, it seems like his journey to success was really paved in a way by that eviction notice, that early moment of adversity.
Yeah.
It really instilled in him this incredibly strong drive to create stability and security, not just for himself, but for his family and those around him.
That's so powerful. Especially for anyone who might be going through a tough time right now. It's a good reminder that challenges can actually be these incredible catalysts for growth.
They can shape who we become.
Exactly. And it's fascinating how those early experiences can shape our entire worldview,
Yeah.
even our definition of success. And for The Rock, it's clear that success goes way beyond just personal achievements.
Yeah, it's like he's driven to create a world where other people don't have to face those same struggles.
Right, and that drive manifests in such fascinating ways.
Yes.
It's not just about climbing the ladder of success for himself.
Yeah.
It's about using that success to really uplift others. And you see this really clearly in his approach to fatherhood.
Yeah, he talks a lot about the importance of being present as a dad and expressing love unconditionally. Like, he makes it a point to tell his daughters that he loves them every single day, no matter what.
It's like he's consciously breaking those negative cycles.
Mm.
Because he obviously contrasts this with his own upbringing where his dad's love, while present, was expressed with what he calls a small capacity.
Hmm.
So he's choosing a different path. He's showing his kids a different way.
He's rewriting the script on fatherhood almost.
Yeah, he's redefining what it means to be a truly loving and supportive dad.
Huh.
And it's not just about words either. He's also instilling values like hard work, kindness, and gratitude in his daughters. It's a very holistic approach to parenting.
It is. And speaking of gratitude, that's something The Rock talks about constantly. He really credits it as one of the keys to his happiness and resilience.
Gratitude is a powerful tool, isn't it?
Yeah.
It helps us appreciate what we have and navigate those inevitable ups and downs that life throws our way.
And this whole idea of staying true to himself, that played a big role in his transition to Hollywood, too. He was initially advised to distance himself from his wrestling persona to kind of fit into a more traditional mold.
Right, but he went against the grain.
He did.
He trusted his gut.
Yeah, and he embraced what made him unique. It was a gamble, but it definitely paid off.
Oh, absolutely. Audiences loved it. You can tell he's having fun in his roles, and that energy is contagious.
And that authenticity also shines through in his company, Seven Bucks Productions, which he co-founded with his ex-wife, Danny Garcia.
They've built an incredible portfolio, haven't they?
They have, and it's a real testament to their shared vision and mutual respect.
Yeah.
Even after their marriage ended, they managed to maintain this really strong business partnership focused on creating great content and pushing boundaries.
It's pretty impressive how they navigated that transition, wouldn't you say?
I think so. It really speaks to their maturity and commitment to their shared goals. And their ventures extend beyond Hollywood, too. They have their own tequila brand, Terramana, and an energy drink, ZOA, both of which have been hugely successful.
They have a knack for tapping into what people want, don't they?
Yeah.
Whether it's a good movie, a great drink, or even just an inspiring message.
It seems like it. And underlying all of their endeavors is this real commitment to spreading positivity and giving back.
Remember that quote about joy and hope being the most powerful gift we can give?
I do, and for him, it's not just a nice saying. He actively lives it both in his personal life and through his various businesses. He's always encouraging people to find their own strength and use their influence to make a difference.
It's inspiring to see someone at his level of success stay so grounded and focused on uplifting others.
And he's not afraid to show his vulnerable side either. He's talked openly about facing challenges, experiencing setbacks, and learning from his mistakes.
That vulnerability makes him so relatable. It reminds us that even the most successful people are human. They go through ups and downs just like everyone else.
It's like he's saying, look, I've been through some stuff, but I came out stronger on the other side, and you can too. That message of resilience is really powerful coming from someone who's achieved so much.
It humanizes him.
Yeah.
It shows that success isn't about being perfect.
Yeah.
It's about getting back up when you fall down and continuing to chase those goals.
And that's something that resonates with people no matter where they are in life.
Absolutely.
It makes his message so much more powerful because it's coming from a place of shared experience.
It's true. And that's such an important quality for any leader, right?
Mm-hmm.
To be able to show your humanity, to connect with people on that level.
Right. And speaking of leadership, we can't talk about The Rock without mentioning his legendary work ethic. I mean, the stories about his insane training regimens are almost as famous as his movies.
Seriously. It's almost superhuman, the amount of dedication he brings to everything he does. How does he do it all?
Well, he talks a lot about the importance of discipline and time management, but I think it goes deeper than that. There's a real sense of passion that fuels everything he does.
Yeah, you're right. It's not just about checking things off a list. It's about that fire in his belly. You can see it in his eyes, hear it in his voice. He loves what he does.
And I think that's such a powerful reminder for all of us. Finding work that you're passionate about can make all the difference. When you love what you do, it doesn't feel like work.
It becomes an extension of who you are.
Exactly. And that's when the magic really happens. The Rock's success isn't just about talent or hard work. It's about aligning his passions with his purpose.
It's about using his platform to entertain, to inspire, and to give back.
So as we wrap up this deep dive on The Rock, what's the one key takeaway you'd want our listeners to walk away with?
I think his journey is a real testament to the power of authenticity,
Hmm.
resilience, and pursuing your passions with everything you've got. It's a reminder that we all have that potential to achieve great things when we stay true to ourselves and try to make a positive impact on the world.
Beautifully said. His story really reminds us that no matter where you come from or what obstacles you face, you have the power to write your own success story.
And to do it with kindness, gratitude, and a whole lot of heart.
And on that note, we'll leave you with a final thought from The Rock himself. He said, "Success isn't always about greatness. It's about consistency. Consistent hard work gains success. Greatness will come." So go out there, be your authentic selves, work hard, be kind, and never stop chasing those dreams.
Thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive. We'll see you next time.